I'm gonna look up what episode this is because
Sorry, I threw
you
a wrench in
threw
the thing.
everything off.
I did. I'm sorry. I ruined everything.
That's not true
I
at all.
threw off our recording day.
Well, you had it a reason. 142. This is episode 142 of the season of Checkup OVA. It's a podcast where we have conversations about video games, anime, manga. Hello, I'm Jared, joined as always by Doc Al and Lady M. She's sleepy. I'm sleepy. This is the chill zone.
Also, Queen of Atome.
Yes, the Queen of Atome is returning.
Yes.
So yeah, if you're a Patreon person, you'll probably notice this is going up very late. Everyone else won't notice a thing, but
I got stuck in an airport and airplanes for 13 hours.
Yep.
Yay!
Also, I don't think we would have recorded you last night.
Really?
No.
Even if I had gotten back on schedule?
Mm-mm.
Welp.
Because you were tired as is, so
yeah,
I probably
fair.
would have been like, hey, go sleep. Don't worry about this.
I'm still tired.
This is not a big deal.
We're going to talk about something funny.
We are. Okay, so let's preface this.
Okay, let's preface it.
The Queen of Atome is back.
Yes.
And there's a new Hot Atome app.
Yes.
Game for the mobile device.
The mobile device.
Hot off the heels of the popularity of Mystic Messenger, which came out 2 years ago.
I was still in grad school because I was like, this is dumb. I don't want to play this.
Yeah,
but I was like, oh, wait. I ended up playing this a lot and loving it.
So there's a new one out.
Yeah. And it has the best name ever.
I think I sent it to you off of the App Store because I saw it and I was like, oh, that's a Atome game.
You sent it to me because of the voice actors. Yes.
I think it was a combination of it's an Atome game. There's actual English voice acting with good voice actors, and the name is stupid.
The name is so stupid. Also, it follows my rule of I have to get it if it has been discing in it.
Mm-hmm. So I need to look this up. So talk about this game while I look something up real quick.
Okay. So the name of the game is Mr. Love, Queen's Choice.
Yes.
Fantastic title. It is, as we have said, an Atome game where you play as a TV producer and your company is about to go under, and your late father, who died in a car accident, used to run a TV show about people with superpowers. So she's like, oh man, our company's gonna go under. I don't know what to do. What if I just did one more episode of my dad's show? That'd be cool, right? And she ends up starting on this quest to revive the show about these superpowers that are called evil. And along the way, she meets 4 bachelors.
Whoa, who could have guessed?
Who could have guessed?
I am shocked.
So we have Gavin, who's a cop.
Boo.
So Otto, terrible. He is also somebody who went to high school with main character, and he was a bad boy then, but now he's a cop. His evil is wind control. He knows everything that happens in the wind and also can use the wind to travel.
That's not what I was thinking.
What were you thinking? Farts?
I thought you said win.
No, wind.
I just win all the time.
Well, then wouldn't he automatically be the one that she dates every single time?
Yeah, that's the point.
Oh, man. Well, too bad he's my least played character because he's a cop.
Because he's a cop.
We have Kiro, who is an idol. He is an actor and a musician, and he is voiced by Sean Chiplock, which is wild. He is introduced to you because he is in a store trying to get some chips that have a Batman sticker, and he calls you Miss Chips the whole time, and that's his new nickname for you is Miss Chips.
Forgot about that.
Yep, Miss Chips. So that's Kiro. We have Lucian. I always say his name wrong. He is a genius investigator about evil. He's an evil researcher, and he knows a lot of shady stuff about evil research, but he's like, everything's fine, it's all good. I'll help you with your show. I know a lot about superpowers. So that's him. Also, he has like a very monotone, like bedroom voice, which is really weird. And then we have Victor, who is the CEO of LFG. I don't remember the name of his freaking company at this
Yeah,
point.
looking for group. Looking for guild.
LFG, yeah. Which I don't remember what that stands for. Let's LFG brings up anything when I Google it. LFG,
Definitely not.
Mr. Love.
There you go.
I type Mount Love. So he is the CEO of LFG. For some reason, I'm pretty sure that Loveland is part of that because it takes place in Loveland.
It's a really bad name.
It's
not bad, but it's just so generic.
Oh no, it's bad. It's very, very bad. Why won't you tell me the name of your freaking company, my dude? Anyway, LFG. Loveland Financial Group. Does that sound right? Maybe.
I mean, sure.
Anyway, he's super duper rich. I forgot to tell you what Kiro's superpower is. Kiro has absolute charm, so everybody loves him. Which is
why does he just make charms for everyone? That seems kind of a lame superpower.
Well, it makes sense why he's an idol that he has absolute charm. We don't know Lucian's yet. We still don't know Lucian's. They're like 25 chapters in China. We don't know. Victor. Anyway,
when you get to chapter 50, you'll know.
Victor is the CEO. He is very, very rich. He is also a bit of a butt to the main character first. She asked him to invest in her company since they are about to go under. And he is like, all right, cool. Don't mess this up. I'm going to give you some money. And his evil is time control. He can stop time.
The world.
Oh my God. He can do it for longer than 8 seconds, though.
Well, he's just a coward.
Did I give you enough time to look up what you were looking up?
Yeah.
Nice.
It didn't matter.
Why not?
Because it didn't pan out like what I was thinking.
Oh, tragedy. So anyway, that's the basic gist of Mr. Love and who you are going to be dating. These are your 4 guys. You also have some side characters that you hang out with. Worth noting, main character is a moron. Like, Atome games tend to have dumb main characters, but like this one is next level dumb. Like it's amazing how just stupid she is.
Here's how we're gonna appeal to our common Atome audience. Let's just make her as dumb as a bag of rocks.
Yep, basically. So you are supported by your ladies in your company. One is named Anna. She is the city woman, as they put it.
That's definitely a title.
Yep. One is Willow.
Hello, I'm the city woman.
Willow wears a Wonder Woman shirt. And then the other one is Kiki.
Very, very real. We totally got the copyright for this.
Oh, they do copyright stuff all the time. They're just talking about Batman and Starbucks and Wonder Woman, and there's all kinds of things. I'm just like, are you allowed to talk about that? Oh, CVS is one they talk about a lot.
What?
Yeah.
Do I go down to the drugstore?
No, they're just like, we got to go to CVS and get this thing.
Why of all stores would they name that?
I don't know, but it's always CVS.
That might be the most absurd part of this so far.
There's a lot of absurdity here. As I said, Kiki is the young gal in your group at your company. So the whole goal of this is really just like to save her dad's company, but also like weird stuff keeps happening to her in true Atome fashion. And because she's an
No.
because she's a moron. She's just like, why is all this happening?
God.
Yeah.
God.
Like she almost gets hit by a car once, and Victor's just like, oh my god, please pay attention. What are you doing? And this is also like the first time she meets him as an adult, which is worth clarifying. They all knew each other as children. Who would have thunk it? Well, except Lucian, but that's a different story.
Genuinely shocked by all this. Never.
So,
Who could have seen this coming?
Lucian only knew main character as a kid, not the other guys. Also, there's a pretty big age disparity between everybody, which is kind of shocking. Like, main character and Kiro are 22. Um, Pretty sure Victor is 28. I guess Gavin will be 22. No, he's 23 because he's a year older than her. And then Lucian's 26. So that's a pretty big disparity of like 28,
Bunch of
22.
youngins.
Well, I mean, like 28's not super.
It's a youngin.
Well, okay, let me also clarify though that like that was part of the reason why I wanted to date Victor at first, is I was like, he's the oldest, I'm gonna date him. But then he was kind of a butt to me, and I'm like, do I really want to date you? I don't know. He's become less of a butt as we go along, but he's still a butt.
Oh, you have to have the token butt character.
Yeah, he's there are multiple butt characters in this,
It's not an
honestly.
Atome if someone isn't an.
It's true. So each of what is happening? Also, I think
Tome's
it's
happening.
funny that the Wikipedia page refers to Kiro as a ray of sunshine. He also very much likes video games. Yay!
What a loser.
Oh my god. Wow. Yes, Loveland Financial Group. I found it finally. So there are all kinds of like wild things running in the background of this game, and
We should probably close them.
before I get like super in depth in the story, that I must clarify, I still don't know what's going on. I have no idea, and I've almost beat everything that like is available to the US store at the moment.
And there's
And
also a
I
bunch of stuff that's like available in because this comes from China, so like all that stuff's
yeah.
still um continuing and being updated and everything. So like the story as a whole isn't complete or anything. So
Yeah. So, in terms of mechanics, you have two different like main modes. Um, we have like the story mode where you have to alternate between like actual story and then productions, and you have to pass the productions in order to continue getting the story. And by doing that, you have karma, which are your like gotcha cards, basically.
yeah,
Because this is a gotcha game.
yeah.
You have to level them up. You have to evolve them. You can what all are my choices here? So upgrade, star up, which you can upgrade their like they have 4 attributes. So decision, creativity, affinity, and execution. Um,
Gonna level up my execution for everyone so they all murder me.
no, only one of them will murder you. But star up is an option. Evolve is essentially like idolizing them.
Mm-hmm.
And then ascend, which I still have no idea what actually that does. It has like a tree for those 4 attributes, but I'm not sure like exactly how it works.
They just become a tree. Tree G.
So you can get these in a few different ways. One is from pulling them with the wish tree. Yep. So that's like where you
That's a good
spend.
name for gotcha pulls.
Yep, the wish tree, because you wish you would get the right cards.
Wow.
So the wish tree you can pull like with coins or coupons or gems, which are all currency that you can have in the game.
Mhm.
Pools are extremely expensive. Right now I have 1,153 gems
And some jingles.
and some jingles, and a 10 pool with an SR guaranteed is 1,800.
It's cheap.
You can also get karma because there is a footage section where you could just pick whichever guy you want to shoot.
That was almost sketchy. The way you said section. Like, whoa!
I'm tired.
Apple, what are you putting on your app store?
Nothing. So yes, footage. You can choose which guy, and then you shoot them and move move through different stories, and it's still like the same like production style type thing. And as you continue doing those, you can actually pick up more SRs and some Rs, and most of them are not very good, but that's just how it goes.
It's gotcha.
Yeah, there's Rs, SRs, and SSRs. That's
wow. They don't even shell for URs. They're scrubs.
Mm-mm.
Scrubbly gotcha.
There is also a company section where you can
Someone just keeps you company when you're playing a Otome.
My God.
We know it's bad. Not bad. We know it's rough out there for you in the Otome land.
It's rough. So it shows like how close you are to leveling up, which mine is currently at level 55. You can train your different attributes that the main character has. So that's again, hers are brand, creative, AD, and video departments that she can level up. And then you and then you have experts.
I'm an expert.
And your experts are just random people that you can hire.
Can one of them just be you as the Queen of Otome?
Oh my God, I wish. So you hire these people and then they help you with your productions, but they can be hard to get sometimes. So that kind of stinks. And you have to level them up along with your company. So that gets expensive very quickly. Everything in this game takes like gold as the currency. So like leveling up your experts takes money. Evolving your characters takes money. Starting up your characters takes money. Combining your shards together to get new cards takes money.
That's capitalism.
It's just I don't like capitalism.
I feel like if anyone has listened to this podcast, they would know that.
That I don't like capitalism?
That both of us don't.
Oh, yeah, that's because it's terrible.
But you love Otome.
I just keep falling in over and over and over to the Otome.
This is an Otome pit, and you're just like, oh, look, man, look at this horizon. Oh, God. Not again.
There is also a phone section in this where...
Well, yeah, it's a phone game.
Yeah. Shut up. You can text the guys. You can post on social media, and they'll talk to you. You can call them. And then you can just read her like news section, and this is where you can check your intimacy with them.
But this isn't like Mystic Messenger where you had to like, well, I'm playing this game and I have to stay up until 3 a.m. for this one event to happen.
No, this one is just as you're playing. Like the app has to be open for them to call you or send you a text message or whatever.
Smart.
Yeah, it's not like timed.
It's not. Let's wreck your sleep schedule with the video game.
Oh man, I very much wrecked my sleep schedule for that one.
Yep.
It was pretty terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I had regrets.
God.
Your phone also lets you check your intimacy levels, which is weird. I don't know why you would check that on your phone. but I have a level 13 intimacy with Victor. I have a level 12 with Lucian. I have a 12 with Kiro, and then I have 11 with Gavin. Like I said,
You just wait till you get to level 69.
he's a cop.
Boo.
There are also other sections of this game, which it takes so long to get through all the daily things of this because you have box office contests, which is where you like put 3 of your cards up with the highest attribute for whatever the daily attribute is and then compete against people to see who wins. My rank is currently 11,559.
Can't compete with those that are spending real money.
I don't spend money on this. There's Heart Trial, which lets you like ascend your characters. There is City News, which is how you can hire new experts. You have to like go through these like news events in order to level up as an investigator so you can hire more people. There is City Stroll, where the character just like walks through and does a bunch of tasks for people and just gets free stuff from them, which is very weird. It's also like one of the oddest looking parts of this game because it's an actual like weird walking model. I don't know. I hate the way it looks. There is the 24-hour challenge, which again is like a put up your cards and compete against people type thing. And then there's the date section, which, as you can guess, is where you can date the individual
You look at the
dudes.
day of the calendar. Oh.
You date the individual dudes based on which karma you've pulled. And intimacy levels, because they have to be a certain level for you to unlock certain dates. Breathe. There is also one other feature on here that I've only used once. And that is the right beside you feature. And the only reason I used mine is because I got one for free. Which when you go on here, it says, put your headphones on and be relaxed as he's right beside you.
Oh God, he's right beside me.
He's right beside you. So this is ASMR. Is that what that means?
Yes.
Yes.
It's an acronym, but yes.
Yeah, it's ASMR of these dudes just like talking at you for 20 minutes.
Which
and
which I guess like let's clarify. Kudos to them for doing this because it's literally them talking for like 20 minutes straight.
Yeah.
And nothing else.
Yeah.
Which had to have been just some bizarre voice recording sessions.
I mean, there's like some shuffling and stuff like that, but for the most part, it's just like a dude just talking at you for 20 minutes and that's it. And it's a lot of like, do you want some tea? Here's some tea. How are you feeling? Are you okay? And it's just like, oh my God, what are you doing?
Game of the year.
I was telling my brother about it. He just like, what?
It's weird.
There's also like daily quests that give you XP.
Before you go on from that, also because you mentioned that you got one of those for free.
Yes.
Obviously. The other ones are like what, $10 each?
$10 each for them to talk at you for 20 minutes. What, like you can keep repeating it, but it's only going to be the same content every time. But $10 each.
I mean, someone's already probably ripped all of those on YouTube, so like.
Probably.
Why would you spend that much? That's.
I mean, the things that's tragic about is that the free ones weren't either Sean Chiplock or Ben Diskin.
Well, of course not. They gotta hide those behind the paywall because they know they're trying to get you.
Yeah, it was tragic. I have not spent money on that, and I refuse to spend money on that. I love those two voice actors, but like Jesus Christ, I don't need somebody talking at me for 20 minutes.
That's what I'm here for.
Well, I also don't have to pay $10 or $20 to have you talk at me.
You're right. You have to pay $30.
Oh my God. So that's a weird feature that they just added in like a couple weeks ago.
A weird feature for a weird game.
this game is so weird. It's so weird. Um, like I said, there's an achievement list that like as you continue through the game, you get achievements and then you get rewards for it. I have 98% of the other category. I have 53% of Gavin, 44% of Kiro, 46% of Victor, and 42% of Lucian. In terms of growth, I have 76%. Romance, I have 64%. Journeys, 52%. Karma's 42%. And then there's still one that's called Coming.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Not like that.
Oh, okay.
And then you'll just have like events throughout the game that show up, and you're like right now there's a Date Gavin one. I'm like, no, I'll pass. Thanks, but no thanks. And they often will post on like their Facebook group, like, here's some codes and you can get some free stuff, which is awesome. But also, like, you have to look for somebody who has posted it as a comment on there because you can't just copy it straight from the text.
Also, the idea that they just do this on their Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cutting edge social media. My earbud fell out for like the third time today.
Oh no. So yeah, this game is very, very odd. And so back to this wild story that I have no idea what's going on with.
Back to the wiki.
Oh, do you have the wiki up?
No, you had the wiki up, or you had crazy things going on.
Oh, well, I'm just going off memory right now.
You were just experiencing some new stuff that's coming, and you were just like,
oh, we're gonna talk about that in a minute. We're gonna talk about that. But I want to like get the basics out of the way, which we're like what 20 minutes in, and I'm still explaining the basics of this game.
Where are we? We're almost 30 minutes in.
30 minutes in, I'm still explaining the basics of this game. Great. So again, this whole evil thing. What is evil? What is that about?
It's shorthand for evaluation.
It is a shorthand for evolvers.
No.
No, like I said,
no.
It is a superpower.
That's not how you shorthand that.
EVOL.
You just call it evolve.
Well.
Or just say evolvers.
Well, evol.
You just cut the word in half. What are you doing?
Apparently, and the game would not actually support this at all. It's like not many people have evol. They're very, very rare. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. They're rare, but all 4 guys that I could date are evolvers, and I am also evolver. Like,
the only 5 people in the world.
There are other people they run into that are evolvers, but it's just very odd.
It's very rare.
So yes, it is a superpower, and sometimes it can be like artificially induced. And there was a doctor who experimented on people, and he was trying to induce evil and got like shut down. And Lucian's like, yeah, that's not what I do at all. Like, I'm a researcher, but I don't do that. I'm like,
I'm totally legit. Just don't ask me any questions. Look at my doctorate and all this stuff. Very legit. I am a totally sane person. Do not look into my history or anything. Do not at me on Twitter.
Don't at me on Twitter or my social media of choice on the phone.
My social media of choice.
Are you saying he's a robot?
No, this is the way it's generic social media.
Oh, okay, I see.
But maybe he's also a robot. This game, I wouldn't put it past them.
So there's this whole like shady organization, which like it should be clarified that like the first part of this game is just her trying to build this company, and she's like, hello hot dudes, come help me reform my company and make my things a success by giving me money and starring in my shows and all this. And they're all like,
That's how that
yes,
works.
this is wonderful, of course I'll help you. And I'm like, what? That's the only one who's a little hesitant, and I say hesitant, but he's not really hesitant, he just pretends to be, is Victor. He just says that he expects better from her, which again, she's an idiot, so I don't know why he expects better from her.
Just tells her to get good.
He basically does. And there's this entire subplot early on about pudding.
Oh, so it's how to have a boyfriend.
Basically.
Who
that,
is
like,
the Oko-san of this game?
Victor.
Well, he's the best character then.
I mean, he's Ben Diskin.
See?
I
know how to call him.
So Kiro at one point is talking to the main character, and it's like, there's this place that has really good pudding, and it's like pudding like I grew up with, and I love it. I love this pudding. And she like starts looking up reviews of this restaurant, and everybody's like, yeah, the food's great, but it's rarely open, and also the boss is like 0 out of 5 stars. And she's like, but Kiro says it's good.
So clearly it's good.
I gotta go check it out. And so she goes, and there's this waiter there who's like, no, you're not allowed here. And he's like, no. Also, you don't have to necessarily pay money at this restaurant. Like sometimes he will just like, the boss will say, hey, you have to do this task for me instead, and that's your payment for food. And so at some point, and I don't even remember why, she ends up getting her pudding and she eats it. She's like, wow, this is so good. It is like my childhood. I've been trying to recreate this pudding. And turns out Victor just runs this restaurant. He stops time and makes food.
That's how he uses his ability. Man, hang on, I gotta cook more dishes. Well, let me just stop time for a bit so I can get this over with.
Which, like, the idea of a CEO of a company, a big financial company, is just like, let me stop time and go run this restaurant real quick. I'll be back. Like, what? What is this subplot?
That's how things work.
But it's this whole, like, they've been looking for this girl and this pudding, and of course it's the main character because it's always the main character. And the pudding thing is never explained. Like, if she made the pudding, if he made the pudding, who made the pudding as a child? But they were all in love with this idea of pudding.
You know who made the pudding.
Actually Kuro might be the Oka-san here, because he was the one that's like, pudding. We have to go to the restaurant and get a pudding now. The others are just making
What if this
pudding.
game, but it was just how to have a boyfriend again?
Amazing.
And all the dudes were birds.
Amazing.
Or just make this game with Oka-san in it.
Nice.
I'd play it.
It's such a weird subplot, though, this whole pudding thing.
It's very important in Tome games, clearly.
There's also a subplot about like an orphanage full of autistic kids.
That is a complete hard 180-degree turn in the opposite direction.
Right? And I think they're implying that Kiro is autistic at one point, which I don't get that sense from him, but like,
that is an audacious, not audacious, but just
it has potential to be very not good.
Yeah.
Especially because it turns out that these autistic kids at one point were like test subjects. And so she starts investigating this orphanage, and they're like, yeah, but this is like not the original orphanage. There was another one 17 years ago, but there was a big event that happened, and nobody knows what happened to the orphanage.
And then the game becomes Yakuza 3.
Well, the game like has Lucian and the main character like checking out this orphanage, and then like this big weird argument happens between Lucian and Gavin, the cop, and like Gavin shoots you, like he shoots at you. And he claims that he was just knocking a bullet out of the way that was trying to shoot you.
Yeah, sure.
That's not how it works.
That's what a cop would say.
He's like, I could sense the bullet in the wind, so I shot the other bullet.
There's a bullet coming. I'm gonna shoot it with my own bullet. Like, off.
But the funny thing is that they just don't address it at all in the next chapter. Like, there's one statement about it, but like when you pick up the next chapter, I was like, oh, it's fine. You know, we're just making shows now. And I'm like, what? You just got shot at. What are you talking about? And eventually there's like a throwaway line of he's like, oh yeah, I'm just shooting that bullet. Everything's fine, right?
That's how we explain this.
It's like, what? There's one subplot of like main character gets kidnapped, and there's this guy who keeps saying like if he kills her, then his little sister will come back, and Gavin ends up saving her because of course he does. And that becomes plot relevant later because apparently there's some kind of like weird rift in time type thing that people keep falling into.
Man, I hate when I'm like walking down the street and I just fall into a time rift.
Right? So his sister is missing in that.
Oh man.
Also, they're just like interrogating that guy at one point because Gavin's like, I'm mad at you. What'd you do to my lady? And the dude just dies in the middle of the interrogation.
That's what I'd do if I was in an interrogation. I'd just die.
Just die.
You're not getting anything out of me.
It is implied pretty heavily throughout the game. I don't think it's ever been confirmed, but like the main character's evil is that she is a but she has like dreams of the future.
Oh, she's Miss Cleo.
Basically. And so there are events like there's one where she sees Gavin in a hotel room and the hotel room's on fire and he's dying. Also, they just bring up randomly at one point, like, oh yeah, Gavin's deathly afraid of fire. I'm like, what? Since when? Why? Why is this just now coming up? And then it's like, oh, because this chapter involves him like almost dying in a fire. That's why.
It's plot relevant.
But
now
they're like, yeah, we're gonna go to hotel room 404. And they're like, that doesn't exist. There is no 404 in this hotel. Like, so then they go there and everything sets on fire and almost dies. And then like the girl, the sister, shows up out of the time rift and is like, F all y'all, I'm burning you to death. And they're like, oh no, we'll just fall through this time rift. And so they're just like in like time space trying to figure out what the heck they're gonna do and then pop out somehow. I'm like, what? How do you just pop out in the correct place when you're just drifting through time space? Like, what is happening? It's very weird. Another weird subplot, there's so many subplots, is that Victor has been looking for this girl who saved his life 17 years ago, I guess. Is this? Yes, 17 years ago. Which conveniently coincides with the time that the orphanage closed down. Wow. And so this one company like sets up this big elaborate trap where they recreate the events of what happened at the orphanage 17 years ago.
They're recreating a trap?
Yeah.
Okay. Making sure I didn't mishear you.
No, because they're trying to recreate the events of 17 years ago.
Oh, yes, when I was 12 years old.
And she finds out that they are Black Swan. Also, she gets struck by lightning, which happened to her 17 years ago as well.
I don't
Victor was like, I have been searching for this girl who saved my life 17 years ago because she protected me and got struck by lightning, and I thought she died, and I loved her, even though I was a child. And
You
then
could say she was electrifying.
and then she does it again as an adult, and he's like, it was you all along. It's like, of course it was her. God dang. So then he like
No,
keeps her.
It's a coincidence I got struck by lightning as well.
He keeps her like in a hotel, no,
A
hospital room, a hospital room for like 2 weeks. Is like, you can't move anywhere. I will watch you at all times. I will stop time to do it. And it's like, oh, buddy, calm down, Ben Diskin.
You will not get electrocuted again.
Ben Diskin just needs
Ooh, this fork. What if it goes into the outlet?
hold on to your britches there. I can't even remember if there are any bizarro subplots. Oh yes, Kiro is also like a hacker. He is an idol, but also a famous hacker.
I mean, that's how the idol industry works. You are part-time idol, part-time hacker.
There's this one part where they're like reading out a news report, I guess, about like how this one hacker, and I forget Kiro's hacker name, but anyway,
XOXO Naruto 420 XOXO.
well, about that, there's this name drop where they're like, oh yeah, this hacker apparently like looked to see like the last episode of Full Metal Alchemist and just dropped that
okay,
title.
hang on. Are we talking OG Full Metal Alchemist?
It just says Full Metal Alchemist.
Because I don't know if you really want to be finding that last episode.
Yeah, I don't either. Also, like, you wouldn't have to hack to find that.
Yeah, that's pretty readily available.
Yeah. So that was the thing. But he ends up like going to a hacking convention with the main character.
Going to HackCon.
And then like a bomb goes off at the hacking convention. And they fall through the floor, and then it becomes this whole thing of like he has to hack to save them. And that's what they find out about Black Swan.
What the is this game?
I've been trying to figure it out since I've been playing it, and that's why I keep playing it. It's because I'm like, what is happening? I need to know.
Do the developers of this game just like have a bunch of ideas on like a blackboard or a whiteboard or something, and just like throw suction cup darts at the board and just are like, all right, first 3 things that we hit, that's our next storyline.
God, I hope so.
Hacker, bomb, idol. All right, we got it.
But not only is it hacker bomb idol, but also it's at a hacker convention.
Yeah, the HackCon.
Oh my god. Key is his hacker name.
They could have done better. Could have done a lot better.
I mean,
XXX key underscore and underscore Vegeta lover.
They have an idol
key,
here
XXX.
that also goes by Key, which is interesting since, like, you know, Shiny is a thing and they have a guy named Key.
That's just coincidence.
So yeah, when I left off the game, I got betrayed. I've been telling you for the past like few weeks. I'm like, this guy's got
the past 5 years.
The past few weeks, I was like, this dude's gonna kill me. He's gonna do it. He's gonna kill me. And then he's like, oh, by the way, I'm Aries and I am part of the bad guy group, and also my eye is bleeding.
I just want there to be like actual dialogue where he's like, I'm part of the bad guy group.
He's like, oh, you think you're so smart because you see a letter on this map, but you're not so smart because you didn't know that I was a bad guy.
I mean, I don't know. Would we call her smart?
No, nobody would call her smart.
Everyone's like looking at her like, is he serious? Why no one here is calling her smart? What is he talking about? She's clearly a maybe he's the real all along.
Maybe.
The real was the friends we made along the way.
Is there anything else that I'm like missing about this game that I should really like emphasize.
You could literally tell me, like, you could make something up, and I'd be like, yeah, okay, sure, that's happening in this game. I believe it.
Oh my god. It is a very, very, very odd game.
It's a Tomei.
Um, I I found out that there's a subreddit for Mr. Love.
Because there's a subreddit for everything.
Yep.
I mean everything.
I just found one that says Gavin is big r/old old people Facebook energy, and you can't change my mind.
Oh my god.
It's so funny. It's just so. What? The real question is Lucian a sugar daddy? Excuse me, what? No, he's a researcher. Like, that boy's living off grant money. Come on. I keep thinking about Miss Chips now. So I found out today that there are some SSRs coming out. And I was like looking at them live earlier when I was talking to you and when I was making all kinds of comments. I was like, this would be funny if I was just like looking at them and talking to you on the podcast about it. What is he doing here? Who is this? Who are you?
This is a prime example of that.
Yeah. Okay. I think this is Lucian, but he's like got her by the throat. Jesus, that's not sexy.
They're really going for the Naruto or the Sasuke choke meme, and they're a few months late on it, but
But also, like, in what world is it like, wow, this dude's holding my throat, that's sexy?
He's about to give you a choke slam.
Oh my god. Also, I think I told you about this. Kiro, the idol / hacker boy, apparently becomes like a white-haired anime boy at one point. Instead of a blonde-haired anime boy.
He's gonna die.
Well, his hair just is white, and then he has like tats everywhere, and he's wearing like a sleeveless turtleneck vest thing. It's very bad. Don't ever wear that ever in any circumstance.
Start wearing a sleeveless turtleneck vest.
You should not do that.
Get a bunch of tattoos and dye my hair white.
So I'm not sure what happens between now and then that he becomes white-haired and also just becomes like an edgelord.
I mean, he is a hacker.
Well, right now he's like super bright and happy boy all the time. Also,
someone gave him he downloaded a My Chemical Romance CD when he was hacking.
A subplot that I forgot to mention is that currently in the game, everybody's evols are out of whack. Like, they're going out of control.
That's not what I heard you say, but let's go with it.
What'd you think I said?
It sounds like, to me, because I'm just... It sounded like you said everyone's e-balls.
No, they're evols.
Yeah.
So Gavin is like turning himself into a tornado because he's a wind guy. Yeah. Victor's just gone. I don't know what he's doing. Something with his time, I'm sure. But the issue with Kiro is that his is the absolute charm. And his charm is like making his fans become obsessive.
Wow, who could have seen this coming?
Which, like, idol fans are obsessive anyway, so like, who's shocked? But like,
me.
They start doing really terrible things. He's like, never mind, I don't like this. I'm going to quit the idol business. And then like the fans go to his company, which by the way, his company is called BS Entertainment, which is hilarious. They go to his company and have banners, and like some of them are threatening to jump off the roof. So evols can very much get out of whack. Is he touching her butt?
Whoa.
Oh man, I showed you the one in the hackers. Whoa, he has a gun. I showed you the one in the hacker situation where she like falls on his lap, and it's very odd. She has a headband on.
It's
Um,
my hacking headband.
okay, so I'm looking at Kiro's new tattoos, and one of them just says Nirvana. I
He smells like Teen Spirit after all.
his weird shirt is like ripped in weird places, and he doesn't even look like the same character anymore. And then he has a gun.
He's a hacker now.
Why do you have a gun, sir?
Gun hacker.
And then I don't know what's happened to Gavin here. He's like Luke Skywalker floating in the tube in the space diaper type thing.
His
Except
racist
for,
cop powers have activated.
oh my god. Well, he is half naked and chained and has a tube over his mouth so that he can breathe, and has like a bunch of electrodes on him, and also he's just ripped and the top button of his pants is undone.
Whoa. Button
Yeah.
that back up, my dude.
Okay, here's more. Here's more. He's covering her eyes in this one.
Now you can't see.
And then there's some like light going on here, like reflecting light out of my hand. I have no idea what's happening here. Why do you have a knife? Is he going to stab her? What is happening? Why do you have a knife?
He's a knife salesman now.
Oh my god.
Look how good this thing cuts.
Apparently at some point Kiro just gets like electromagnetic powers because he's just like holding his hand out and there's electricity coming from it.
Oh yes, Magneto, the master of magnets.
So maybe that's why his hair turned white.
I also when I use electricity, my hair turns white.
Sometimes I see things and I'm like, why? Here's another one. He still has his gun, but he is bloody and his shirt is ripped in a bunch of places and his face is all bloodied up. He's like wiping the blood off his mouth. Also, he just has like a fur jacket on.
So we squall.
Kiro, what happened to you? And then there's one where he's just like kicking at the screen and there are numbers. Oh, it's just binary wrapping around him. What's happening in this picture? What are you doing, sir? He's taking his glove off with his teeth and then has black wind surrounding him. Okay. There's a man on a throne.
That's me.
There's
That's Leon S. Kennedy.
Yes, that is basically the pose that he's doing. This SSR has like a bunch of pills flying around.
Pills here.
Ah! This man's holding a gun at me.
Pew pew.
Why does everybody have guns? What is this? Why does he have voids? Okay, let me describe this SSR to you. So it is Victor, so it is Ben Diskin's character. He has time control, as we have mentioned. He is wearing a pinstripe suit. He is wearing
walk in here.
He is wearing an overcoat with fur collar over this pinstripe suit. There is a big like vortex behind him with like clocks flying into it. And then there are just like void black hole type things that he's just like juggling with his hands.
You gotta sometimes juggle the void. It's a metaphor.
It's oof.
Life is juggling the void and time and wearing pinstripe suits with fur coats. Like you're a 1940s gangster. Like you're 1940s Joseph Joestar.
Wow. There was something I was gonna tell you. Oh, I was gonna mention the baby making music. It's so weird. There is like Victor's theme song whenever he shows up is just like this weird like bow chicka bow wow music. And don't understand why. Like, I admit that he's the one that I have been dating the most, partially because he's Ben Diskin. Oh Jesus, the Reddit website. I should have the app instead of the website.
It's a bad website in general.
What a mess. Let's go murder my rivals. Good art. Oh, one thing we could talk about are the dates.
Almost an hour in. Let's talk about those dates in this game.
Yeah, there are. And one of them that I went on recently, I was asking you, like, which date should I go on? And we went on a hospital date.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So
I remember this.
let's see which dates I've actually gone on. What did I unlock? I haven't done anything. Oh, I can pull from the wish tree.
Let's do a poll live right now.
All right.
Live poll.
I got Agent Flower Arrangement. He has a normal card.
Great.
Time to karma pass him. He's dead.
Rip in peace.
Okay, so let's see. Let's see what Lucian's dates are. I have done the Firefly date, the ball date, and the aquarium date. I still have the rainfall date, park date, new light date, afternoon date, forest date, and snowy night date for him. Which, by the way, it is very hard to get the gems that you use to unlock dates. I have not finished a single date under Gavin, which is hilarious. Have I even started any? I have not. That's super funny. Because he's terrible. He's a cop. I've done the office date and a rooftop date for Victor. There is the interview date, rainy day date, date in France, movie date, job date,
Date.
dance date, airplane date, cruise date, and tour date.
What is an airplane date?
It looks like he is drinking alcohol on a plane.
It's just you spending 12 hours in an airport.
Oh God, that was miserable. I have finished hospital date on Kiro. We have secret date, birthday date, cherry date, firework date, river lantern date, haunted house date, icy date, which we were talking about that. Movie set date, and apricot forest date. Which you were like, go on the icy date. I'm like, that's no. And then you was like, oh, well, tell me I have Jason dates then.
It's a joke.
Oh, hey, buddy. Hi. There is a Reddit post. It's just like densest MC moments. She is seriously so stupid. Like, so stupid. I just discovered something in this game that I didn't know existed. If you click on
actual game.
No, if you click on the dates, there's a section that like you can click on date, or there's a thing that says rumors and secrets.
Rumor has it you're going to HackCon.
In the endlessness of time, only human beings make him impossible to understand. What does that mean?
What? That's just words.
What does that mean?
That's just words.
What are the rules of this? Rumors and Secret System reveals more unknown stories of the 4 male main characters from brand new perspectives. You can unlock 4 male characters' rumors and secrets by obtaining required karmas and certain items. Hourglass. Oh, okay. How to get required karma. You can get required SSR karma and lock it to unlock rumors and secrets from August 7th to September 9th. Well, that's not happening. How to get Hourglass. Use gems to buy Hourglass. Of course, use gems to buy Hourglass. I want to see if there's anything else ridiculous. Sometimes one who plays chess doesn't know he has a chess piece on the board at the same time.
What?
Eli didn't think that this would be the last time he saw Gavin.
But it
He is
was.
he is the sign of rainbow and luck, which Lucian wants to give the girl, and ... What?
Dot.
What? Needless to say, this game is bizarre, and I just keep playing it, and I have no idea what's going on at all. Everybody knows each other, but they don't remember that they know each other, and it's just like there's some I was going to say to you. What was I going to say to you?
I wish I could tell you.
I want to talk about that karma that I have. You know the one.
Do I?
Yes. It's the one that I want you to use as the pod image for this.
Oh boy.
So, there is one of the first SSRs that I ever got. It might have been the actual first SSR I ever got. Is a Victor SSR. And it features the main character standing on the front of a boat. She is very, very happy, and her hair is blowing in the wind, and she is holding up her shawl. It is also blowing in the wind. Behind her is Victor, who is just standing there like he hates life.
Hate boats.
I mean, can't confirm boats aren't that great. After having been on the boat for several days. Ugh.
Take a good hard look at the boat.
Oh my god. So, anyway, I don't know if there's anything else I need to talk about with Mr. Love, but like, I'm so upset that I just had to read the phrase Daddy Victor.
Before we go,
okay,
there is something we have to do.
okay,
Actually, there's multiple things we have to do
okay.
because it's been a good year, 13 months, let's say, since the list has been updated.
Oh man.
The Owl's official ranking of Otome, which I don't know how many Otome you've played in the last 13 months. Besides this, the last Code Realized fan disc. And I don't know if there's anything else.
That sounds like it.
That feels bizarre.
I need more Otome in my life, honestly.
You do. Well, I did just play a game that was written by a guy who wrote an Otome game, so maybe that'll partially get you halfway there.
Maybe.
But we gotta rank some Otome.
Okay.
Because we have not done this in a good long while. Let's start with that Code Realized fan disc, since that's the previous thing you had played.
Okay.
We're gonna continue our ranking as we did before. We start at the bottom.
Let me pull up this ranking real quick.
I'll send you the. Do you want to do that? I can send you the link.
You'll do what now?
I can send you the link.
Oh, my butt.
Oh, no, your butt. Unless you can find it real quick.
I hurt my butt.
Do not hurt your butt.
No,
just in general. For people, don't hurt your butt.
My butt is injured.
It is injured, yes. Do you want me to send you this link, or?
Yeah, because I'm trying to find it. Oh, never mind. You're editing it right now, so it showed up in my drive.
Cool.
Okay. So my official ranking of Otome.
Yes.
We're gonna start at the bottom.
Let's refresh people's memories because it has been a while.
Okay.
At number 1, OG Code Realize.
Yes.
Number 2, Seven Scarlet, which is the writer of this game wrote the game that I recently just played through. So interesting Little thing
Connection.
there. Yes. Number 3, Code Realize, Future Blessings. Number 4, Call Across Malice. Number 5, Mystic Messenger. Number 6, Psychedelica, The Black Butterfly. Number 7, Hot If a Boyfriend. Number 8, Period Cube. Number 9, Bad Apple Wars. Number 10, Hot If a Boyfriend, Holiday Star. Number 11, Psychedelica, The Ashen Hawk. Number 12, Hakuoki, Kyoto Wind.
Hakuoki.
Yeah. Number 13, Amnesia.
Okay.
So we're starting with Code Realize, Wintertide Miracles. I think that's the subtitle.
I want to actually make an edit real quick.
It's your list. Wow. After we just completely said the list and you're already changing it.
All right. Anyway.
Hot If a Boyfriend has moved up to number 6.
It did.
Shocking developments.
Shocking development.
All right.
Live editing of the Otome list.
Code Realize, winner game.
Winner game.
Better or worse than Amnesia?
Better.
Better or worse than Hakuoki?
Better.
Better or worse than Psychedelica of the Ashen Hawk?
Better.
Better or worse than Hot If a Boyfriend, Holiday Star?
Better.
Better or worse than Bad Apple Wars?
Better.
Better or worse than Period Cube?
Better.
Better or worse than Psychedelica of the Black Butterfly?
I mean, I did get the Smooch Victor in it. It's like the weakest of the 3. This is hard.
This is the job you have signed up for.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put it above Psychedelica, but it's not gonna be Hatful.
So our new number 7, Code Realize, winner game.
Winter game. It's Wintertide Miracles.
I was kind of right. All right, so that leaves us with our final selection here today. Mr. Love, whatever the that subtitle is.
Queen's Choice.
There you go. Starting at the bottom again. I'm just going to put it at number 15 because it's clearly not as good as Amnesia.
Fight me. Amnesia's terrible.
Better or worse than Hakuoki?
Better.
Better or worse than Psychedelica of the Ashen Hawk?
Better.
Better or worse than Hot If a Boyfriend, Battlestar, Holiday Star? Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna hang out down here somewhere. Let's be real. The only reason I'm really still playing it is just to have Ben Diskin and Sean Chiplock talk at me.
And you're already so far committed. You're just like, I gotta see what the heck
I gotta
is
see
happening.
what's happening now.
I'm too far in.
Too far gone. I'd say better than Had a Full Boyfriend, Holiday Star.
Better or worse than Bad Apple Wars? This to see if it will break the top 10 or not. Will this be one of the top 10 greatest Otome games of all time?
Oh boy. Or Otome that Al has played.
Or will it be a top 15?
I'm gonna say it's better than Bad Apple Wars.
Better or worse than Period Cube?
It does have one positive the Period Cube doesn't have, and that is I don't have to date my brother.
Yeah, that makes it surprising how this is up here so high.
Yeah, there was a lot of interesting stuff the Period Cube did.
But also it did that.
It did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it had some neat like JRPG stuff in it, and the art was pretty, and the other stories were really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the one that like you date a serial killer. That part wasn't very cool. Well, we know that it's already broken top 10.
Correct.
Because it's pushing down Bad Apple Wars.
Correct.
Is it better or worse than Period Cube?
That is the question. That's what Hamlet said.
I'm going to say better.
Okay.
Because I've really enjoyed having Ben Diskin and Sean Chiplock talk at me.
Better or worse than Psychedelica of the Black Butterfly?
I like the dudes better.
In which?
And Mr. Love, Queen's Choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I like it better.
Better or worse than Code Realize Wintertide Miracles? Will
Worse.
it crack? Okay.
Worse.
Does not crack the top half of the list.
Nope. Queen's Choice. Choose.
Queen's choose. Alrighty, so we have made a new number 7 and number 8 in the Owl's official ranking of Otome.
And also Hatful Boyfriend moved up.
Hatful Boyfriend moved up a year later, you're thinking differently. You got some different thoughts and feelings about games, so sometimes rankings change on a whim. When you come back to them a year later.
Well, because I've been thinking about it and like looking at the list, I'm like, do I remember details? Do I remember the dudes that I dated? Like, what stuck with me?
Cool.
And the fact that we even made Hatful Boyfriend references in this means that Hatful Boyfriend definitely stuck with me.
There is an Oko-san plushie sitting next to me on top of my diploma.
On top of your diploma?
Yeah, well, it's in the envelope, so it's fine.
Pudding.
You
Yeah.
got that for me for Christmas.
I was going to say some super cool person got you that for Christmas.
The bestest person I know.
Loki.
It's true. I called him up and was like, "Hey, can you pull some strings here? Can you meet some big guy in a back alley?" And he'll be like, "What are you buying? What are you selling? Got some new things for you, stranger."
Oh man.
All right, let's put in Resident Evil 4. Shop man.
When do we get to date the merchant in Resident Evil 4?
That's a great question.
Tragedy.
True tragedy.
Man. I think Mystic Messenger is going to always stay relatively high just because it was like the one that really, really got me into this.
It basically wasn't it?
It was my gateway drug, yeah.
Until they make Mystic Messenger 2. You gotta jump up and then jump back down.
I don't know that I like my sleep schedule again.
Mystic Messenger 2 key features: we don't wreck your sleep schedule.
Oh my god, that was like insanely hard. So I will give that to Mr. Love, is that it does not wreck my sleep schedule. It just makes me a crazy person because there's so much stuff to do at all times. And I'm like, nothing makes sense.
Well, there we go. The ranking of Otome has officially been updated.
Should we screenshot this and put it on the Twitter?
Yeah, we can do that. 15 entries now on the list. Whenever more Otome comes out, I'm sure Al will talk about it and we will update the list again at some point.
If anybody knows any Otome that I've missed that I should play, hit me up.
Well, the Switch is becoming the new Vita, so...
I know, and I'm stoked about that, and I need more Otome. Although there's some on there that I've seen, and there's like one where it's like, you're in a bar. I'm like, oh, okay.
There's a lot of them on there that basically just look like mobile ports.
They do.
So... But I think like a lot of like the Otome developers are basically switching the Switch. That's redundant. Anyways, but so hopefully you'll see some more English releases of those that come out.
I would be stoked for that
eventually. But yeah, 15 entries in the ranking of Otome, and eventually we will return to this and see will anything crack the top 5? Will
Yeah, that's been a
anything
pretty solid
knock
5.
off any of these 5? It's a question that remains to be answered.
The Collar Cross Malice fan disc should be coming out relatively soon, right?
Oh right, I think that does come out, doesn't it? I'm tired. We're
Dude.
both tired.
Dude.
Like I have no excuse. You clearly do, but
I don't know. I want that fan disc.
Both the original game and Unlimited, which is the fan disc, are planned to get released for the Nintendo Switch in Japan, North America, and Europe, with the original plan for release in 2020.
Okay, eventually.
So I don't know when the fan discs come out. Also, I forgot they're doing an anime of this.
What?
An anime adaptation was announced on June 3rd, 2019.
Wait, are we talking about Color Cross Mouse, or are we talking about Mr. Love? Because Mr. Love has
there is an anime adaptation of Mr. Love coming as well.
Yes.
But no, that was Color Cross Malice.
Okay, I will definitely watch the Color Cross Malice one. That one was really, really good.
I'll watch that with you.
Yay! What about Mr. Love? You gonna watch that
I feel
one?
like I have to.
I don't even know. Like, I feel like it's gonna be a massive cluster because
yeah,
how
that's
do you
exactly
even
why you'd want to watch it.
put this into an anime? Like,
it's gonna be
just
real dumb.
I mean, yeah. So I'm interested to see how that goes. What a wild thing.
Wild thing.
Get out.
That's our show.
Nah. Lord help us all. My brain is going to explode because of Mr. Love. This is what we do here.
It's true. So yeah, that's gonna wrap this episode up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you'd like more from us, go to seasonlanguagecheckup.com or ssc.cool. It's where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Season Language Checkup and Season Language Checkup OVA. No, this is this podcast. Jared now watch.
Whoops.
I feel like it's the first time I've switched those up. You can also find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from Ann Ladium, go to annladium.com. She's got columns and reviews. You can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/animecheckup. It's where you can find the official list in a picture format.
Yep.
And you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/SACOVA.
Mm-hmm.
Next week,
there's a lot of stuff coming out.
I
don't know what we'll get through in time, but
one thing that's coming out next week we've already talked about.
Yep.
And then everything else is up for grabs.
Actually, technically 2 things we've already talked about. But this one is obviously going to have a lot more content to talk about.
I don't know what the other thing is.
Catherine.
That comes out next week?
I thought it did. Am I wrong?
I don't know. It's a great question.
I'm pretty sure. September 3rd.
Okay, there you go. Regardless, there's a lot of stuff coming out forthcoming, so we're knee deep in the video games now.
Yeah, the latter half of the year tends to be chaotic, so
John Madden graced us with his presence, and now the floodgates have opened.
What?
John Madden graced us with his presence, and the floodgates of video games have opened. Because Madden is the...
Is it Madden season already?
Yeah, Madden came out at the beginning of August.
Oh, Jesus.
Where have you been?
Dude, I haven't worked at a GameStop in ages. I don't remember when Madden comes out.
You should always know when Madden comes out. It's Madden. Your favorite video game. You love the football.
The only reason I liked Madden was when I worked at GameStop, you could wear jeans if you wore a jersey, and otherwise you couldn't wear jeans, and I was very upset about that. So I went to a Goodwill and found a Tennessee Titans jersey and just wore that so I could wear jeans at all times.
Amazing.
I didn't even know anything about Tennessee Titans. I don't know the person's name on it. Like, I had no idea. I was just like, I found this for $1 in the kids section, and I'm gonna wear it so I can wear jeans. I am dedicated to that jean life.
It's a pretty good life.
Mm-hmm.
Jean life is the best life.
Actually, best life is no pants life, but jean is pretty close.
True. You're not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Also coming out on September 3rd, Root Letter Last Answer.
Yeah.
Video games, they're coming. You can't stop them.
You can't stop.
So there's a lot of stuff that's coming out. We'll talk about something. I don't know. I'm embargoed on something, so I can't talk about one thing I've played recently. The other thing I can because that game came out in like May.
I still can't believe you're embargoed on that.
Yeah. It's funny. But anyways, we'll figure out something for next week, and we'll have words and speak them into a microphone and convey them to you through speakers, and they'll come into your earbuds or your ears, and then they'll go into your brain, and you'll be like, wow, these people are so smart.
So smart.